Welcome, everybody. I'm super, super excited. We are about to enter holiday 2023 selling season. And so what I will tell you is that when you are wanting a successful holiday season, it doesn't just happen. It is absolutely planning and strategy. So you're going to want a pad of paper and a pen, and we're going to go through some things, and I will open it up for Q&A at the end. But I know there's going to be some great information in here. So the first thing I want to suggest, I'm going to give you like 4 or 5 specific things to do because I can give you all the ideas in the world. But what happens is you get off this call and you're like, what do I do? Like, which way do I go? And what's the first step? So I am going to give you several ideas. And my suggestion would be is that you incorporate just a few of the ideas, not all of the ideas. Because if you try to incorporate all of the ideas, you will be overwhelmed. And it won't be successful. It's just not a good win for anybody. All right. So with that said, first of all, I want to take you guys really quick to the Mary Kay in Touch page. And this is one of the first things I'm going to have you do. So when you go on Mary Kay in Touch, it should look something similar to this. And you're going to go to product and you're going to go down here to holiday 2023. So when you click on the holiday 2023, there is going to be all kinds of great information down here. So now I realize that some of you are on the friends and family plan and you order twice a year and you're buying for you, your mom, your brother, your sister, and your own personal gift giving. And that's fine, but you still need to think like a retailer. And then many of you want to make money this holiday season, whether you want to make a smaller amount, like 500 to 1,000. Many of you want to make that $2,000 to $3,000 mark. Many of you are looking for more like 5,000 to 7,000, and some of you want to do 8,000 to 10,000. Whatever the number is, we'll get to that in a minute, but I want to show you some resources. So first of all, you want to become familiar with what is available for the holiday selling season. Now, the Miracle Set is not a limited edition item, so we're not even going to talk about that. But everything below that is limited edition holiday. So these are the items that are limited edition. Now, there's many, many items, and we can go over a list at the very end if someone will remind me of like the top 12 hottest selling products for the holidays. And some of them are not limited edition, like eye makeup remover as an example, but we can cover all that later. I just want you to be familiar with the products, first of all, that are limited edition. Okay. Then you can go to another pull down menu, which is product spotlight, which I'm not going to cover right now, but the videos are really good. So the 2 videos that are on here are both about product. One is a wrapping one for you. So this bottom one is all about ways that you can wrap stuff. This top one right here, Celebrate, Amaze, Sparkle, some really fun wrapping ideas. And to be honest with you, last year, I actually posted that on my customer page and I asked for feedback and my customers really liked it. Like, they're like, wow, great ideas, super cool. And I think they appreciated the way that stuff was put together. So you can either, if these are not shareable, you go onto Zoom, go to product or share the screen and you play them and record them. So you can totally get around the company making them either shareable or not shareable. The important part though that I want to bring your attention to is right here. It's called supporting materials. And what I'm going to ask, one of the first things I'm going to ask you to do is to go onto In Touch, click on supporting materials, and you're going to click on this. It's called Holiday Selling and Team Building Guide. And you're going to download that. And I'm going to show you a few tips on there in a second. This is also great. This is called the Holiday Wish List, which you can actually send to customers or post it on your VIP page. You can also use the fillable, customizable open house invite. I tend to use one that's a little more personal than that, but you can use this one. The holiday gift tags are super cute. I actually sent these to FedEx Kinko's and had them print out 10 sheets in color on 60-pound paper. So that way I was able to use them like as more like an actual gift tag. And then of course you've got the PDF version of the lookbook, which is right here. And then how to share these. Now this is a really good flyer. If you are not techie, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but if you're not a techie person, this is a great thing for you to look at. This explains to how to share downloadable files. So you download a lookbook and how do you share that on social media and stuff. So these are great. Now, if you scroll down, because these are all for you, especially this holiday selling and team building guide, because this breaks it out by month, which I'll show you in a minute. But look down here at consumer flyers. There's 3. One is the Miracle Set flyer, which if it were me, I would start putting this in every reorder bag. So I went to FedEx Kinko's and I had them run off 50 of these. And I put it in Publisher and I put my contact info on it, just so my customers would have my contact info. But I'm putting this in every reorder bag. So yesterday I delivered a foundation and a primer to a woman, put it on her porch, and I put this in there. Even though she got a lookbook because she is on my PCP, I still wanted her to have this. So this miracle set flyer is great. These 2 flyers, though, are specifically dedicated to holiday. This flyer that you can share on your VIP page, you could send it out, excuse me. It has the 3 limited edition ice sparkles. And then this one is the quarter at a glance. So it kind of gives you an idea of, it helps your customers look at what are things that are coming out for this quarter. And then down below here, these are other digital sources. All right, so let's go back up to the most important, in my opinion, which is the Holiday Selling and Team Building Guide. Okay. When you click on that, I don't know, can somebody just do a little thumbs up emoji if you guys can actually see the thing that says celebrate, amaze, and sparkle? Is it visible for you? Fabulous. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so let's look at this. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but every month there is a page. So the top page is September. The next page is October. Then it goes to November. Then it goes to December. All right. So these are great. I would, if it were me, what I did is I read through the whole thing, because there were things, even though they aren't coming up until October, November, I wanted to be aware of them, or things I might need to order and to be prepared. But in September, this, in my opinion, is one of the most important things you can do. And this was on the list of things I was going to give you to do is, number 1, get a paper date book. If you don't have one, go to the Dollar Tree and get one, and figure out, what do you have going on between now and New Year's? Do you have any surgery scheduled? Do you have a trip scheduled? Do you have, you're going to be someplace for a week? Like, whatever you've got going on in your life, maybe you're babysitting a grandchild, or maybe you're taking care of an elderly parent, or whatever. Have everything that you can put into there that you're truly obligated, not stuff that would be nice if you could do, but stuff that you're actually obligated to, or that you've got planned, put that in there. And then the second thing, so that way you need to know when you're available. The second thing is setting a specific holiday season goal. And the reason why this is super important, you guys, this is your why. This paragraph right here is what's going to keep you going when you don't feel like keeping going. All right. It's to realize, what are you going to do with the money? Like, what, some people are going to use it for maybe a home improvement. Some are going to use it for holiday gifts. If you don't celebrate Christmas or the holidays, you could use it for maybe a home improvement. I don't know any family out there that couldn't use extra cash. Like, I literally don't know any family that couldn't use extra money. So you want to say to yourself, what is it that I want? And what am I going to do with the money? Now, I want you to write down on your piece of paper right now a dollar amount. What amount would you want in your hands, let's say by December 15th, profit? Like, how much do you want to have? 500 in your hands? You want to have 1,500? You want to have 2,000, 3,000? What is the dollar amount you want? Write it down on a piece of paper. Now, this next thing I'm going to ask you to do, you're probably going to whack me upside the head, but I'm going to ask you to double that figure. Why would I ask you to do that? Well, because I will tell you, your brain needs to be stretched. And if you wrote down, let's just say 1,000. Okay, 1,000 is great. 1,000 is going to help you with gifts. It's going to help you with all kinds of, maybe something that you want to do around the house. But what if it was 2,000? What could that do? And the neat thing about doubling your goal is it just sets your brain up to go, well, what else could I do? It just expands your thinking. All right. So you definitely want to have a dollar goal in mind. Now, we're going to take that dollar goal, if you can imagine a circle. So you're going to put the dollar goal in a circle, and there's going to be all these like little tentacles or little rays off that circle. And those are all ways to make money. Does that make sense? So let's just say you've got your piece of paper, and let's say your goal is 3,000. And so you're going to write $3,000, let's just say, right inside here. And then you're saying to yourself, okay, how am I going to make money? Well, there's virtual parties. There's in-home parties. There's adopted grandparents. So there's going to be a whole bunch of these, which I'm going to be going over with you today, all these different ways to make money. And what I will tell you is that a confused mind does nothing. If you literally take the 8 or 10 ideas I give you and try to run with those, you'll be overwhelmed, frustrated, feeling like you're running like it's a rat race. You don't want to do that. You want to take 2 to 3 and home in on those. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to do some of the others, but your focus is really going to be on those 2 or 3. Does that make sense? So you want to have a specific monetary goal. All right, let me go back here and look at my notes. Hold on a second. All right, so this is a really good thing. I would just print this out in black and white so that you have it, so that you have it in front of you. You really do need to think like a retailer, though. And so your holiday success doesn't just happen. Okay, it's all about planning and strategy. You know, what's your why, what you're going to use the money for, and all of that. So once you figure out number 1 on here, which is your personal schedule, right? Then what you're going to do is then you're going to go down and figure out, okay, so what is my selling goal? What's the dollar amount that I want? We've already done that. The third thing is, okay, now how am I going to do this? All right. You can hold, as you see down here on the fourth dot, hold beauty experiences, skincare parties, follow-up appointments, pop-up parties, you name it. And then they've got the app and lots of other ways for you to do this. All right. All right. So let's come back and talk a little bit about some of the things that you could do. So number one, in my opinion, one of the most important things, once you figure out the first two, right? When you're available and the dollar amount you want to work for, communication is key. I have seen in my decades of experience in Mary Kay, I've seen consultants put all their eggs in one basket. They plan this huge holiday open house. They wrap for 2 weeks. They get it all ready. They set it all up and 2 people come. So then they're frustrated. So what I will tell you is communication is key. Your customers need to be seeing you, your face in front of them several times a week. Now, some of you might hear that and start laughing and going, Diane, I've got a full-time job. I've got kids. I've got how am I going to be in front of people several times a week? It doesn't mean that you physically have to be in front of them. It could be all virtual or it could be by email. So there's 5 different ways to reach people. And I'm going to suggest that when you're conveying information out, that you pick at least 3 of the 5. Okay. So one of them is the old-fashioned phone call. Okay. Whether you like it or not, just write it down. So one is a phone call. All right. One is going to be a text. Okay. The next one's going to be an email. The next one is going to be PM, which is a private message, which is like through Facebook or whatever, right? And the other one could be a voice text where they actually hear your voice through that, all right? And then the last one, actually, I guess I have 6, is physically mailing something. So we've got calling them on the phone, texting them, emailing them, private messaging them. And the private message could be a text or it could be a voice text, because I love a private messenger where you can send up to 1 minute of a recorded message, okay? And then the last one is mail. So let's say you were planning a holiday boutique. You want to use at least three forms of communication. You don't just mail out the invite and pray. Done that, been there. You don't mail out, 100 invitations to a holiday boutique or 50 invitations and then just hope to goodness that everybody shows up. And yet you may not have time to call all 50 people. Does that make sense? So you could do multiple things. You could post the flyer on your Facebook page, but that's like putting a flyer on a random telephone pole. So some will see it, but most won't. You could also mail it out to your top clients. You could email it out with it inserted. Whenever you send an email with a flyer, don't attach it. Insert the photo into an email. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to me or someone and ask them how to do that. So you want to use at least 3 of those 6 sources of communication. Okay, that's super, super important. I've seen way too many people, myself included, who will spend all the time in the back process, getting everything cute, the logistics and all that, and the decorations, and then to find that nobody comes. So communication is super, super key. All right, you might want to even do a save the date, because the save the date, like I just got to save the date in the mail for something that's a year from now, literally a year from now, because they want everybody to know. So save the date now is important. These are things to do in September. In September, save the date. And so what you might do is you might consider doing, maybe depending on your situation with kids and all that stuff, families, you could have 1 or 2 showings of a holiday boutique in your home, or get to partner up with a girlfriend and do it in her home. Let's say you've got a girlfriend that sells vitamin supplements. Well, you could do it at her house, where half of the display is vitamin supplements and half of it's Mary Kay, and she invites her friends and you invite your friends, and you can kind of co-host one together. But you definitely want to do a save the date. You want to hold possibly a holiday boutique in person, and definitely some virtual. The fun about the virtual ones is you can make a cute flyer that says, make your own, RSVP to me for your refreshment packet. And so I will go to like Costco and get this huge packet of chocolate, hot chocolate in little envelopes. And you could literally put that in the mail. Once somebody RSVPs that they want to come, say, by the way, RSVP to me for your free gift. And if it's at least a week in advance, and let's just say Susie RSVPs to me, she's coming, I'm going to put in the mail an envelope of hot chocolate if I wanted to, or if she lives within a radius of my house, I might drop one off and say, can't wait to see you Friday night on Zoom. or can't wait to see you on my I think the word Zoom creates PTSD for some people because they have to use it for work. So maybe just use the word virtual. I can't wait to have you at my virtual holiday boutique. Now, the year of 2020, when we were in COVID shutdown, I had to pivot because my holiday boutique brings in 3,000 to 5,000 retail when I have it open. So to have none was not an option for me. So what I did is I had 2 tall tables to my side that were off camera, and everything was wrapped and gorgeous there. And I would pull it up wrapped. I would talk about it. I would show it unwrapped. I would romance it. I would smell it, sniff it, check it out. And then I would put it down. And so I asked everybody to get a wish list out. And so creating that kind of an environment, I sold a lot of product my very, very first time doing it virtual. I was nervous because I was so used to having clients come and just walk around my living room and grab things and purchase things. But sometimes we have to pivot. We have to look at other options. So if you have the ability, now I'm going to do at least 3 for the unit, and you are totally welcome. I should have those dates set up by next week, so you can start doing a save the date. I will even make a save the date flyer that has save the date on it with the Zoom number, the time, and you guys can start promoting that. If you want to do times in addition to that, you totally can, but I'm going to offer at least 3 Zoom. I don't want you to call it the word Zoom. I'm going to offer at least 3 virtual holiday boutiques, and then I'm going to do at least two here at my actual physical place, at my physical, where I live, my house. All right. So communication is really, really key. We're going to double the number of what you want. Okay. So let's talk about ways that you can make money. Remember, I showed you that drawing where there's all these different ways. Okay. Well, one way would be to do a virtual holiday boutique. Another one would be to do a in-person holiday boutique. Another one is doing boutiques in your community. So I've signed up for 2 at a church. One is in the community center. Now the company is always careful. They don't really want us just going to a boutique and selling product because we're technically not supposed to sell at those. However, if stuff is merchandise and wrapped and marketed for the holidays, like the mint bliss with the free socks or a coffee mug with the men's shave cream in it or something like that, those can be merchandise and sold at an event. Keep in mind though, if you are doing those pop-ups, just a little quick sidebar, you want to be able to collect names and numbers. Okay. So if Suzanne comes by my table and buys 5 holiday gifts for me, I don't want that to be a one-time sale. And then I never hear from Suzanne again. I'd say, Suzanne, can I ask, as I'm wrapping up her order, are you on anybody's Mary Kay catalog list? Like, are you getting a lookbook from anybody on a regular basis? And she'll more than likely say no. And I say, oh my gosh, well, I'd love to send you the catalog. It comes out 4 times a year with a free sample. In fact, I'll text you the one right now, but then I also mail them out. And so you want to have little information cards for them so you get their information back. Does that make sense? So when you're doing one of the church pop-ups, or I just got into one at the country club and one at the golf course, I want to get names and numbers from there as well. You could even tuck in a gift certificate when they make a purchase there. And you could put something like a little sign, $20 purchase, you get a free gift certificate or whatever. It's just, again, you're taking a selling situation and turning it into a lead generating potential business. Does that make sense? All right. So let's talk about where else can you make money with this. One of the things that I had a lot of luck with the last couple of years is staff appreciation gifts. And let me give you a couple examples. Let's say it's a top realtor. The top realtor probably has a staff of at least 2 or 3 helpers that help with underwriting, scheduling appointments, admin, whatever. So let's say your top realtor has 4 staff members that help with different things. They probably also have vendors that they consider are preferred vendors. Their preferred vendors could be a mortgage broker, a roof inspector, an electrician, a stager, carpet cleaning, flooring, all of those trades that a realtor would use when they go to sell a house. So I had a realtor last year that bought 11 gifts from me. One went to a pest inspection place. And so 4 of these I personally delivered. I think 3 she had me mail, and then I dropped the rest of them off at her house. And the boxes that the company provides, like these boxes, actually are great for that kind of staff gifts. You can actually buy these on Section 2 empty. Not to get off on the side tangent, but those are great for staff gifts and staff appreciation. But think about this. I actually had an organization that has a staff of 40 volunteers, and their executive director reached out to me last year and said, do you by chance have a gift for, I'd love to maybe possibly do Mary Kay. She goes, but I have a really small budget. And she goes, do you have 40? She goes, I think I need 42. like, I don't think I have 42 of anything, to be really honest with you, but I could get 42 hand creams or 42, whatever. So I told her that the hand cream and the Mint Bliss were the same price, but with the Mint Bliss, she got free socks. And I told her I'd sell them to her for 10 instead of 12 because that was her budget. And she was ecstatic. So she said, great, I'll take 42 of them. So she ordered 42 Mint Bliss with the free socks. But in every single box inside with the Mint Bliss, I scotch taped to the actual tube of the Mint Bliss a little certificate that entitled them to a makeover with me for the new year and a $15 gift certificate. Now, most of them did not take advantage of it, but I had 3 of the women reach out to me that were familiar with Mary Kay, had used it in the past, loved it. One gal said that her mom had gotten her hooked on Mary Kay when she was really, really young, and she's like late 20s, early 30s now, and would love to get back on the skincare. So you just never know. But staff gifting can be really big because people buy in bulk. You might have a staff supervisor or boss or whatever, male or female, buy for a staff of 2 or 3 or a staff of 10 or 20. But that's another great way. So be thinking, you guys might think about, well, I don't know anyone with a staff. Well, what about your CPA? What about the attorney, your family attorney that you guys use? What about your landscaper? What about your realtor? Some of the people that you know, some of your girlfriends, they or their significant other might have a business you can tap into. Okay. Let's say you know somebody who's an oncology nurse. This actually happened to me the year after COVID. So what is that? 2021. And she's a client of mine, and she works for a huge oncology company, which I have such a heart for since I lost my sister to cancer. I just appreciate what those people do. And so I went to her and I said, Sharon, is there any way, or no, I didn't word it that way. I said, is there any reason why you couldn't introduce me to the head person that does staff appreciation during the holidays? And she said, I could. She said, it's a new guy that was just hired. And she said, but his name is Steve. I'm happy to introduce you. I said, that would be great. Can I pop by the office? And she says, yeah, but he's not here very much. Probably an email introduction would be better. I said, sure. But again, I don't know him. I only know her. She buys product from me, but she's on his staff. So sometimes those people can be the gatekeeper into getting a connection. Now, I also had a chiropractor buy from me, and he only bought, he bought a gift for his 2 office helper people, but he also bought a gift for his daughter and a gift for his wife. So one chiropractor who happened to be a guy, he purchased 4 other gifts from me. Does that make sense? So it could be the one connection you have that then snowballs to the rest. All right. So kind of just to wrap all this up in closing, I want to make sure you guys realize that there's a lot of people out there you can make connections to. Now, when you sell to men, so let me back up for a second. Timing. So in September, who buys? Women and businesses. Even if they're a male-owned or male-operated business, they don't drag their feet on staff stuff. Typically, those are your September connections. October, women are continuing to buy, and some businesses, and that's when they'll be doing a lot of boutiques, a lot of pop-ups in October, November. By about mid-November, women have got the majority of their shopping done, not all of it. Men still haven't figured out that there's shopping to do. So December is your month that when a lot of men will purchase for their own personal gift giving. If you haven't already connected with them when they buy staff stuff. If I have a gentleman who I'm just now popped into my head, Wade, when I reach out to him for his business, he not only has a staff of 3 or 4, but I know for a fact that he's got a wife and 2 daughters. And so although I will initially approach him for the staff gifts, I'm going to also then say, what about your wife? And what about the girls? Okay. So here's what's interesting is they have done things in the past called the 12 days of faves. I don't know that they're bringing those out this year, but you could very easily take this beauty box and stack it and have it available. Like you could put 2 or 3 of them together. You could even put several gifts inside one, maybe 2 of them stacked on top of each other, put 6 gifts in one and 6 gifts in the other. So she has lots to open. You can totally get creative. So those are when you start getting into the details of how do I want it to look? How do I want to wrap? The only tip I'm going to give you for that is don't spend all your time and money wrapping. Wrap 1 to 2 of about 10 to 12 items, and those will be your signature gifts for the year. You don't have to wrap everything. So I'm going to throw out probably my top 10 or 12. The roll-up bag, satin hands. Like a lot of these are not limited edition. So the roll-up bag, satin hands, satin lips, micellar water, eye makeup remover. And eye makeup remover can be bundled with micellar water or it can be bundled with mascara. I usually always bundle the eye makeup remover with something. Okay. Then I would say all the holiday sparkle, and the holiday sparkles, I'm going to partner that with eye makeup remover and partner that with a mascara and eye makeup remover to make a bundle. Okay. Body care is a really big one. Hydrogel eye patches when they're wrapped up to look like peppermint patties where they're round with the little thing on them. In fact, Kathy, could you grab me one of those in the closet real quick for me? I'd appreciate it. Thank you. It's over here. Sorry, you guys. It's a peppermint patty. It's the patches. People would look at them and just say, I want one of those. They didn't even know what they were. They just liked the way they looked. So those were really popular. Another thing, so let me show you. So this is the I used the box on the bottom. So it has the ingredients. And that was my base. Then this is the sticker from Court of Achievers, and these bows are from Court of Achievers. And I had a bunch of these, and people were like, what is that? I want to buy that. They didn't even know what it was, but I sold so many of these because of the way they were wrapped, and they're hydrogel eye patches. Okay. All right. So when you're out doing things, again, you're focusing on just maybe wrapping 10 or 12 items that are bundled. The other thing that'll be really huge is the Mint Bliss. So last year I did an experiment. I did buy 4, get the 5th free, and almost every single person got the 5th free, bought 5. And I started thinking, that's giving away too much. So you might do buy 4, get the 5th half off or whatever. But again, it's only $6 out of your pocket, but they buy 4. But just think about volume. Now I will touch base with you on one other thing. This is very near and dear to my heart. And that's adopt a grandparent. If you are local to me, I'd love your participating support and help. If you're not local to me, reach out to me and I can help you find low income Medi-Cal facilities near you. It could be a small facility of 30 or 40 people. It could be a much larger facility. You do have to be careful legally with Mary Kay. We don't go out and ask for donations. That's when the company's legal department has a fit. But what we can do is sell gifts. So if I were to approach my neighbor, Kathy, I would say to her, Kathy, I do this amazing program called Adopt a Grandparent. I show her my flyer, which will be posted on the unit website. And I'll have it updated for 2023. And I'll just explain to her that these are low income Medi-Cal facilities and she could purchase a gift for $25. I make no profit. That is by choice. If you want to make a profit on it, that's up to you. But I make about $5 profit for each, well, $4 to $5 profit on each one. So for every 2 or 3 that I sell, I'm able to just do another one. So all the dollars that I collect, I just roll into more gifts. But again, that's just what I do. You don't have to do that, although I can tax deduct it as my own charitable donation, just plugging that. But Adopt a Grandparent's another great way to do this. So I want you to be thinking strategically. So let me give you an example. Let's say you live at home. You've got 3 kids, all under the age of 15. So your house is busy. You're thinking, how in the world am I going to do this? I would probably find a day that a dad or a grandpa or a mom or somebody could help you get the kids out of the house for a couple hours. Have that be a possible in-person holiday boutique. And when you do a holiday boutique, you want to have like 2 of these out wrapped and then 1 in front of it that's not wrapped. Okay. Because if somebody wants to buy all of these, say, well, can I just tag it sold and I'll deliver it to you later? Because I don't want them taking all my wrapped stuff because I need it for visuals. Does that make sense? So you just tag it as sold. You can always make more. But I don't want you guys taking the time to wrap like 30 of these and then nobody shows up, right? You just need to wrap 2. And so you want to check your inventory. Brush sets or another. When I was giving you that list of product, the satin hands, satin lips, the Mint Bliss, hydrogel eye patches are in there, micellar water, eye makeup remover, mascaras. The eyeliners and lip liners are going to be really big this year because they're waterproof and there's great colors. So I'm going to do a lot of that, like packaging those together. And I might do a thing on those like buy 4, get the 5th free, just because I'm all about bulk. And I heard that idea once, oh my gosh, 10 years ago, when a director friend of mine said, well, I always do buy satin hands, buy 4, get the 5th free. And I thought, little thinking on my part, thought, who buys 5 sets of satin hands? But I made the sign. I figured she did it. I can do it. I made a sign at my boutique. And the second person who walked up to the table goes, oh, that's great. I'll keep the free one for me. And she bought 4 and got the 5th free. And I thought, wow. So think about that. If you had 4 customers buy 5 sets of satin hands each, okay, do the math. That's a pretty good purchase. All right. Now, Adopt a Grandparent, you don't really make much money if you choose to do that as a profit thing, but it's about the connections. And I go into the facilities and offer to pamper the staff and stuff as well. All right. So one last tip in closing. This is the beautiful lookbook, which is gorgeous, but I do want you to pay attention before you place your order. If you haven't already placed your holiday order, I want to make sure that you are paying attention to the pages that feature models. Okay, not only these models, but most importantly, these models. When your clients see these pictures, they're going to say, can I have this whole look? Well, this is all regular line product. Do you have this in your inventory? And especially, I already had a gal come and say, I want everything she has on. I'm like, oh, snap. Do I even have everything she has on? So please make sure that you've got these products in your inventory. There's 3 pages of color looks, this one and these. So note that. And I will mention one other thing. The men's body and hair shampoo is going to sell out extremely fast because we haven't had anything for men. It's great to have stocking stuffers. So if you have a little men's section in your holiday boutique, you could have the men's skincare. I would merchandise and market the charcoal mask for men. You could even do microdermabrasion because guys like that on their skin. Of course, the men's skincare, men's fragrance, men's body and hair shampoo. And then I'm going to take the men's body and hair shampoo with the women's shower gel and package it as a co-ed shower. So I'm going to take this women's, put it next to the men's, put a really cute bow around it, probably going to get either a mitt or some kind of a sponge and put it in between. So you'll get lots of creative ideas later as we get close to the holidays wrapping. So I don't want you to worry about that. I want you to think about quickly in review, look at your calendar between now and January 1. What do you have scheduled already? When could you do, if you were going to do an in-house or an in-person boutique, when would you do it? When could you do virtual ones, as well as participate in all the stuff that we do? What's the dollar amount you want? What do you really, really want for your family? And if you don't need money for your family, do you want to remodel a bathroom? Do you want to buy yourself a beautiful new sectional sofa? Do you want to go on a cruise with a girlfriend? Whatever you're going to use the money for. Take the number you want, multiply it by 2, because I want you to stretch. And so have that in mind. And then I want you to take that dollar goal and say, okay, how much could I do for adopted grandparent? What if I sold 50 of them? How much would that generate for me? And what if I did, if I sell to men, the average man spends $100. Okay, some will spend a lot more, some will spend a little less, but the average guy buys $100 and you sold to 10 men, that's $1,000 retail. Okay, if you had somebody buy staff gifts. So you just kind of can start doing the math to create that strategy. What I will tell you is that the more faces you see, September, October, the more incredibly lucrative your holiday buying season is going to be, because your new customers want to say, what else is new? What else is new? And they will be more likely to show up to things, come to virtual and in-person boutiques that you do. And please ask your customers, and even post it on your VIP page, ask them if anybody at their work is doing a vendor pop-up. I actually had a gal that sells insurance who reached out to me last year and said, we're doing a vendor pop-up. Would you be interested? It's free. I go, absolutely. It was a 2-hour table, but I met some of the sharpest women and sold some great stuff that night. And it was a free table. So ask the people that you currently know that have businesses if they are doing a vendor holiday pop-up at their office or at a location, because you could take advantage of that. And just also ask if there's already a Mary Kay person there, because you don't want to have 2 Mary Kay people at the same event. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful to you guys. Please print out the strategy guide. And I will just close with this last comment about team building. Now, oh my gosh, hear my heart on this one. Now is the perfect time to share the career opportunity. First of all, who doesn't want to get their own personal stuff at half off? Who doesn't want to get their own Christmas presents at half off? I mean, if the majority of my family were not in Mary Kay, I would be giving one of these to every female in my entire family, maybe all 3 shades, right? I would be giving the men's body and hair shampoo to every single guy. Every single guy in my life is going to get that, actually. This, because it smells amazing. Like, who wouldn't want to get all their own holiday gift giving at 50% off? And then you guys, you know what? It's the gift giving time of year. Even if you're not a Christmas celebrating person, everybody's buying gifts for whatever reason. It's an I love you or a girlfriend gift, Bunko book club, whatever gift. So I hope you guys have found this helpful. Please make sure you do those steps. Please look through the guide. If you want help figuring out what are the top 12 products you need to wrap, what's funny is I call it my signature gift. So I said, well, my signature gift for the teens this year is this. And I always have a signature gift for teenagers. Then I say, and my signature gift, my 2023 signature gift for men is this. My signature gift for staff is this. And people will want to know what you're featuring. And I wrap those even a little cuter than the average gift, if that makes sense. Because people every year they come back to me, they go, what's your signature gift this year? So that makes it even more fun. All right, you guys, I hope you found this helpful. I appreciate you being on. Please text me if you have any questions. I'm available to answer any questions. And I hope this holiday selling season is unbelievably successful for you.